Welcome back. Uh, Welcome to Smartintel Academy. I am Ademola called Mr. Indelible, and I'll be taking you today on HTML attributes and references. So we'll be looking at the HTML attributes, and here we are going to talk about a lot of attributes. Mind you, let me say this before we commence. A lot of people tend to look up to everyone as expert, which is a good thing. But I want you to know that nobody is above mistakes or error. So don't ever feel shy when you make a mistake in the presence of others. You understand? You are passing a message to others that nobody is above the mistakes, and they should learn by accepting that they made mistakes and correct others. So while we are doing this, there are some errors that might come up. And why am I saying this? Is based on the fact that we have a lot of attributes, and it depends on what you are working on that will determine what type of attributes you'll be making use of. So some attributes are here that I have not even make use of ever since I've been working. So and they are here functioning right. So we are going to look at some of them. So I'm going to treat this topic like I'm teaching a person that is of age 5, and you understand, so that everyone will be able to grab what is going on. And along the line, some of the attributes to be using, we see them while we work on them. I might be checking somewhere else to see how some attributes are being used, because some I have not even make use of them before. So, and for us to achieve our goal of this tutorial, we need to know exactly how to make use of it, so that when you are trying to make use of it, you can easily get how to make use of it and lay your hands on it easily without any stress. It is better to do it that way than to take the greater risk of misleading others. Thank you. So, if you look at this, we have a lot of references such as the accept attribute, the accept cassette, and so on and so forth. But before we go to that, let's quickly look at the meaning of attribute itself. So when we look at attributes, we see that it states they are they are to provide additional information. These attributes are providing additional information for every HTML tag, and they are used in between the HTML tag. Many of it come with types and name, and many of it come with name and value. So when you have the type that when you have the type, you will have the value to be provided, and when you have the name, you also have the value to be provided. So as time goes on, we go ahead with everything. So, but among the common attribute that we make use of most of the time is the href used with the anchor tag. We have the target used with the anchor tag. We have the source used with the image tag, that's the img tag. We have the alternate used with the img tag also. We have the width and height used with the image, with the text box, and any other thing you want to change the width, you want to change the height, we have the width and height attributes to do that. Then also we have I've talked about the alternate, which is used to give the image a name. Then why we have the alternate is basically to give the disabled the opportunity to know the kind of image that is there. So if the image is not displaying, on the internet, you will easily see the name of that image, so you can easily detect what type of image is going to show. Then we have style attributes and so on and so forth. So we're going to look at all these common attributes one after the other. By so doing, we are going to lay our hands on a lot of things. So also we'll be looking at the language attribute, which is used to detect language used for the HTML. And also we look at the title attribute, we look at the other attributes whatsoever. So if you look at this summary of all the attributes we have here, we have the href attribute used with anchor tag, we have the source attribute used with image tag, we have the width and height used with image tag or any other stuff, we have the alternate attributes used with image tag still, we have the style attributes, we have the lang attributes, we have the used with the HTML tag, and we have the title attribute. So these are the attributes we are going to work with. So let me quickly walk you out on how to make use of these attributes from the beginning. Now let's go to our VS Code. We have the href attribute. How do we use the href attribute? I've used it here before when we were trying to link one page to another. I think that shouldn't be a problem anymore, because we've used the href attribute, which is this here, on how to link a page. We've used the target attribute to target how we can display our link, either we want it to be displayed in the same tab or outside the tab. Then we have the link attribute, which we can use to define color for our link. We have the style attribute. This style attribute perform a lot of actions, such as you can use to change the background text, the background image, you can use to change the color, you can use to do anything you want. We call it style because it's the one you use it to you can use to modify the whole website to what you want it to be, how you want it to be displayed. So that's the function of the style attribute. Then these are the informations we have for the HRE tag. Then we also have the IMG tag. So what are the attributes for the IMG tag? We have the source attribute. For example, we want to include an image in this tag. We have IMG. And for you to put the link of an image where we are to get the image from is called the source. So instead of writing source, we write SRC. SRC is the attribute name and it means source. It means source. So where can we get the image from? We need an image. In that case, we need to look for where the image is located. So how can we get the image? Um, we need an image. Let me quickly dash to my folder. Okay, let me quickly go to the folder. We okay, this is the training folder. Let me just do a screen match. Oh, yep. Then we save the screen match as of save as, then desktop training, and record it. JJ. Uh, save as PNG. We close this, then we return back to our folder. So here, just the source, where do we have it? Is on the desktop. So we look at, you can look at the path slash, where is our desktop here? Okay, let's copy the path from the desktop. We open this desktop and the image. So, we have it this way. Mind you, we've not gotten the image yet. So we have this way, this, then let's now put the jj.png. Let's see how it goes. Source, save. Let's see how it goes for the base HTML. So, so can you see the image here? We have the image under base test HTML. We have the image displayed here. Why? Because this is the part that help us to locate the image. So how can you locate this image without writing long part? For example, if I go back here and I click on this folder file, I click open folder and I open this as a folder, this training, and I click select. Yes, all these images are here. So I think I need to check the window. Okay, okay, we are good. So we have the base.html, we have the html.css, we have the index.html, we have the link.html. So under the base.html, we have this image here. Okay, I want this image to be at the top here so that we can have a better outcome. Okay, so now that I have this link here, remember this link here was, we have the complete part here because we are not sure of how to get the image then. But now we have the folder opened up here in our terminal. So indirectly we can just say this jpeg.jj.png is going to show the image for us. Excuse me. Excuse me. Yeah. So when we try to run this page, so we got the image. Why do we get the image? We get the image because we have this image located inside the folder and we are working inside this same folder. This same folder, all these files and the picture are in the same folder at the same level. So we don't need to put any slash. But if you have the image inside the folder that is located inside this training folder, then you are going to put the name of the image, the name of the folder first before the image. Then we are now looking at the attribute. Under attribute, the second attribute to look here is alt. What is the function of alt? It is used to specify a name. How can we know the name of the image? For example, we have put an image but we did not put the part completely, or we put the part completely, we did not put the name correctly, and we name it correctly as JJ picture. Now if I save this will let us know that the image will not display. Can you see? But it's going to show us the name, which is what? JJ picture, which means this picture name is called JJ picture, but the image is not displaying. So if the image is not displaying, we show the name. If the name, if the picture is displaying, then the name will display. So let's see again. If I make it correct now and I put J correctly, save, and I refresh, the image display, and there's no name displayed. So we call that alternative. That's why it's called alt. It's an alternative, and it means alternative name to be given to the image. Sorry, I'm kind of under the weather. Okay, the next one we're going to look at is the width and the height. Okay, so before we go to the width and the height, remember I told you that we can have images in another folder. Let me create a folder inside this folder so that I can demonstrate that for you once and for all, and you won't have any problem locating your folders. So even though you have 1 million folders, all you need to know is how can you identify each of the name of these folders for you to get your object or your item where it is located. So I'm creating a new folder here. I will call it image under the images here, under this file, and I will copy this JJ again. Let me just copy it and I will paste it inside this image folder. So now I have picture inside this folder and I have picture outside this folder. Good. So now these images under the one outside here is the one located under this base.html. While I want to add another image under this index.html. So in that case, I will be adding it under this paragraph. So I have img source, then equals. Now I want to locate the path. If I put jj.png, it's going to show me the image. Why? Because jj.png is in the same level with html.index. Are you getting it now? But if because I need to move into this image box, these images, I need to move inside it to locate this image. Okay, let me just rename this one to let me rename it to PPP so that it won't be confusing. Yeah. So now I want to locate this PPP and I have JPEG here. So now I have IMG here, then alt, that is JJ picture, then I close this. Then I want to have another image, img src, which is the source. This image I want to locate now is the one inside the images folder. So I'll say slash, not the slash, that's backslash images slash ppp.jpg. So what I mean is this, that okay, browser, this is an image tag. Now go to the source. The source where the image is inside the images. So this part is telling us that there is a folder before images. The folder is the root folder. So you don't need to go there. From that root folder, just move into the images. And from the images, you see JPEG. Then we close our tag. So when I check this now, you are going to see how the images will display. Now let's go to index link and you see the images. Okay, the second one is not displaying what is going on. The first one display, which is the one we see directly, while the second one is not displaying. So okay, I put JPEG. You can see instead of, so if I had put an alternate name, it would have shown me the alternate name. So it is PNG, and let me put alternate. So alternate we have PPP image, PPP image, yes, save. So when if I go back to base.html and I come back to index, it's still not showing because is not located. So we have PPP image as the alternate name. So what's going on? Okay, let me remove this slash and let's see what's going on. Normally there should be slash. Okay, so now that I remove this slash, which is a bug that doesn't allow you to display, then it shows what PPP. So meaning from this IMG, the source is what go to image folder. So as long as it can find images folder inside the training folder, it will now move inside that image folder to see if it can find PPP PNG. So and once you can find it, it's going to display it. So even though you have 100 images, this is how you need to arrange your parts. We call this a part. So this is how you need to arrange your part to locate every folders before you get to where your image is located. So now we want to change the height and the width. So we have height. Height we want it to be 250 and width we want it to be 250. This will give us a square image. So 250, I didn't put the unit. Let's see what will happen. Can you see? That is it. So we have 250, 250 for the height and the width. Mind you, you can use percentage, you can use pixel. So if we say 250 px, let's see what will happen. X. Now see. Okay, let me just change the value so that we can know what's going on for 50, 350. Okay, can you see that it works? So if we use percentage 250, oh sorry, I say percentage, so that means let's say 50%, and then we have 50 cents. Will it work? Let's see. Can you see? 50% of the screen. That's what it means. When I say 50%, it's going to take 50% of the screen. So that is that. So we have 250, 250 as our sizes, and that give it the height and the width we desire it to have. So that is that about height and width. So the height and width can also be used inside the style, but there is a way you use it. When we get there, you know how to use it. So the next one we are going to look at is we look at the style attribute. When we talk about the style attribute, is used to style an element such as color, font, the size and so many things. You can use for the font family, the font size, the color, the underline, anything you want to do, just you use to format each element of to your own choice of taste. For example, here we have in the base HTML we have the style element here where I give it color black. So this link, the text color is black. So we also have other ones. So let's see how it's going to work. Let's do that on that link. So we have the heading. We want to style. Okay, let me style this welcome to our page. So I want to use the style attribute, which is style, as the name implies, equals, then you put your code. When you do that, you go on to What do you want to change first? I want it to have a background color. Okay, background color. You see, choose background color. What color do you want? I want something like peach. Now, when you choosing color, you can choose direct color, you can use RGB, and you can use HSL, and you can use what's the name, CMY. You can change the transparency and so on and so forth. Now, I want to use hexadecimal, which is HEX. So if I'm using hexadecimal, I will use H. Let me use FFGG44. Let's see the color it's going to give us. If that is possible. Okay, F4. I don't think that color is available, but this should be available. F4, F4, F4. So let me make this one G. Let's see what happens. Okay, or 6. I want 9. Okay, I want this one to be 2. Making this, yeah, I want this color. So having this, if we look at it, that is the background color. When we go to our phone and we click on link, you can see the background color, fine. But we want this text to be at the center, and we still want space around the border at the top and bottom. So what are the things we need to do? After this semicolon, we come here, we say what? Text align. I want to align it. I said I want it to be at the center, so I'm going to use center. Save, you check. The text is not in the center, but the text is not visible, it's not clear. Okay, I want the text to be white. You come after this semicolon again, and you put color. I want it to be white. Hash F F F F F. That's white. So you save and you refresh. You have the color as white. Then I want it to be better off than this. Okay, since the text is smaller, I want the size to be bigger. Then you say font size. Font size. Yeah, I want larger font. You can specify number. You can choose any of this, and you can specify number. I want 20 pixel. Save. And I refresh and see it's not that big. And go back to increase it to 40. I want it to be bigger and bold. So I save again and refresh. So I got this as my screen size. Welcome to our link page. So now I want it to be more, I want this space a bit higher, and this place I want more space here, more space here. So we go there by saying what? Padding. I want to pad it. Let me give it padding 2 pixel. Yeah. So if I pad it, that means the space inside is what I'm working on. So I'm working on the spaces inside this box. So I want to shrink them together to make it look, the text will be smaller a bit, but it will have more space. So when I refresh, you can see. So because it's 2 pixel, then I want it to have margin 2 pixel. Yes. I refresh again. Can you see? Because it's 2 pixel, it has to move up close to the index again. So close to the menu, it moves up a bit. So with this, you can get what is happening. Then that is what we mean by styling. Then what does I want? Um okay, you can explore more items that you wish to do with the style. This is what I was able to achieve here. Depends on what you want to do that will determine how you can style it. So styling is very wide. When it comes to styling, is very wide because styling is more or less like what you are using to design your user interface. So you must be versatile in things you want to do. You must know actually what you want to do. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve in order to be able to style your web page? So that is the function of the style attribute. Then we go to the language attribute. The language attribute is only used to identify language on the to identify the language of the website. So the browser can easily detect which language you use. So it's either you use language English or you use language and specify what type of English. Is it US or UK? So you specify that. That one is very simple and is attached to the HTML, open tag of the HTML. Like here now, excuse me. So sometimes you can have your doc type this way. But I think this one is working in another way. That's the new development of. So before you will have your doc type open and you close bracket, then you have your HTML like this. It should work. Yeah. I don't know why it's still bringing language and you put English. So if you write EN, it means English and it works fine. But if you want to specify specifically which language, which English language, you can say what UX and save. So when you refresh, it has nothing to do with the body. It's just used by the browser to detect what language it is. So then we go ahead with we have the title attribute. So the title attribute is to give additional information of a particular item. So for example, I think I've done this in a previous lesson, but I think we should just go through it if not. Okay, let's just go through it. So we are going to have a title, let's say p tag. We are Sorry, I can't give you an ETA to that location. Oh, sorry. Siri, close yourself. All right. Sorry for that little interruption. So we are glad to have you. So I want to give it a title. So I can say title, and I'll say what? Greetings. So having greetings, when I refresh, I have it here. Then if I put my mouse on it, you're going to see greetings. So that is what the title does. And if you notice this most of the time, most web browsers that you visited, you see that when you click on an icon, it will show you the name. It happen mostly on Facebook, when you click on the when you put your mouse on the home, you will see home. When you click it on about us, you see about us. It's going to show the name like this for you, so that in case you don't even know what that icon is doing, what the function of that icon, the title will let you know the instruction that was given there. Is another better way of coding to help other people and the disabled understand your website, because we have a lot of disabled who are using auto reader, as who use text to speech to read and understand things online. So from what you have written as a programmer, with your experience of including the less privilege in your code writing, you will be able to use dis item frequently and very well to message around information to the less privilege. So um den we have yeah, that, like it says here, whenever you are using the title, don't write title in capital letter. Ensure you write it in small letter so that there won't be problem in the command. So then we have, yes, another question, another item that I found here. When you are making use of the title, if you want your write up to include a quote inside it, so if you start your quote with a single quote like this, inside it here you cannot use single quote again, you will only use double quote, and you end your statement with a single quote. And when you have double quote starting it, you can't use single quote, you will use single quote inside it, so you can't use double quote inside it any longer. Let's quickly see how that one works. For example, let's say greetings to you, my elders. So now I want to put dis elders in quote. If I put dis again, I'm already dealing with an error automatically. You can see dat it's showing it as red. So dis is what is going to display in the title, while dis one will become an attribute automatically, an attribute that has no function, no value, nothing, nothing. So the best way to do it is what? To use a single quote. Dat is when your code is correct. And when you use a single quote from the beginning and the end, and you want to continue, it won't work unless you use a double quote and also a double quote inside your single quote. I think that one is clear. It's a simple analogy. So I think that is that on attribute in here. That is the basic attribute that most people make use of when writing a web page. But now, in our next lesson, because I will need to stop this, I'm a little bit under the weather, but in our next lesson, we'll be looking at the attribute as a whole. Can you see? We'll be looking at other attributes that you need to know, which you might not be using at all, or you might one day want to use them, but if you don't know them now, then you will not know the right attribute to use as at the time you want to make use of your attribute. So the best thing is, we are going to treat each of these attributes one after the other in order to know how to make use of them and make use of them in the right way for us to be able to achieve our goal. There are a lot of things that are being done online that we see as if the programmer perform magic, Meanwhile, it is only the function of HTML attributes that carries out the whole activities. And when you use it, you'll be like, oh, what have they done? Oh, this thing is superb. I clicked this, it gave me this option. I did this, it did that. Oh, all these things are because you don't know them, and that is the basic truth. Because you don't know them, you will see it as a magic when those people you look up to are making use of it. But by the time we treat it one after the other, and I show you the try and error, then you will be able to lay your hands on any of the attributes at any point in time and be able to make use of them perfectly. Thank you and have a wonderful day.